Hello everyone. In this video I'm doing some portrait studies on this Strathmore 400 series mixed media paper and using some Vinci PAYNES gray as my monochrome watercolor paint. These are the two items you guys saw me grab when I went to the Blick art materials store in Portland. I wanted to see how they work together, and I did do one little portrait study on this paper before, and I posted it. It was in like a violet blue monochrome with my graphitint, Kuretake graphite paints, actually, not graphitint. So I really liked how the watercolor behaved on this paper, and actually more or less how this paper seemed to handle watercolor. So I thought I would try a different type of paint, and yeah, that was the goal. That and trying to practice some positions that I normally don't really have a very easy time with when doing portraits. That would be the profile picture and the 3/4 picture you'll be seeing me do soon. Generally speaking, 3/4 profiles are somewhat, easy for me, but only when I do them from one side. So I'm going to be doing it on the side that I normally have trouble with and practicing that one. A little word about this paint. So I never thought to research the pigments in Da Vinci's PAYNES gray because I've never met a PAYNES gray that didn't have a basic recipe of some type of black and some type of blue. So I was a little bit surprised to find out that this had Prussian blue as its blue and PBK6, which is black, but I've never in my life seen a PAYNES gray that had Prussian blue in it. So it is a slightly green leaning and very dark version of PAYNES gray that in my opinion is just really a dark Prussian blue. Not really mad at it. I mean, I like Prussian blue for doing monochrome studies. I've grown to like this color a lot, and the only thing I wasn't counting on was I know Prussian blue is a rather staining color, and yeah, I was wanting that granulating, lifting type of property you get from most PAYNES gray. And case in point here, I'm trying to lighten this slightly heavy outline that I did for the nose, and scrubbing this paper a lot isn't ideal since it's mixed media cellulose paper, so it didn't behave too badly. Thing about Prussian blue also is that it lightens up a lot. For such a dark color, it gets pretty light and it has a wide range of value, which is why I like it for monochrome. So the topic I wanted to bring up during this little study here is if you guys struggle with the masculine and feminine features in portraits, meaning that when you're intending for it to be one or the other, there are some basic but subtle differences that really make all of the difference in your portraits. So especially when I'm trying things that are new, like practicing profiles that I'm not used to, or like the 3/4 view here, you'll notice that the jaw lines can get a little bit too masculine, and I have to kind of go in and refine them and change the shape of them a little bit just to narrow them and soften the edges. So if you find your masculine features are showing on your feminine portraits, you would just kind of round out and narrow jawline and chin. So the area I was just working on with the eyes, sometimes if your eyebrow is too close to the edge of your eyelid and you're not showing enough of your eyelid on a face, that can also be a masculine feature. Of course, other things like, you know, the nose is too broad and it's not from your photo reference and doesn't happen to be an individualistic feature of a person, being a female. Then when you're just going through imaginary portraits, doing noses longer and broader, and having the distance between the nose and the lips can also make a big change when it comes to feminine versus masculine features. Also the width of your mouth and the fullness of the lips. So men tend to have like a thinner upper lip and wider smile, or a wider, broader mouth. So I just generally struggle with things like, chins, especially on the profiles. So if it's kind of protruding too much, as you saw here, I was just giving it more of a flatter, and even with the top of the lip instead of even with the nose. For a masculine chin and jaw, you would make it very, very even with the tip of the nose. And for more feminine, you would want to push that chin back just a little bit and have it be a little bit more in line with the top of the lip instead of the nose. So these are things that, they make a lot of difference. They're subtle, but if you're doing a portrait and you're wondering, unless you're going for that really athletic, muscular females, which you do see sometimes in like comic book style, especially superhero women, they're going to have slightly more angular jaws, but they will still be narrow. And yeah, I wasn't doing superheroes here, but just, regular people. And yeah, so sometimes, especially when you're new to doing portraits, you can find yourself struggling with, why does my portrait look masculine when I'm drawing a woman, or vice versa? These are just things to consider, and how to refine them as you go, how to fix those things when you're, redefining your finishing touches. That's why I like to use lifting paint, because I can easily change those angles and soften those edges. So yeah, and you guys have noticed by now that I pulled out some colored pencils. Not my usual medium of choice. Colored pencil is a very slow medium, and I am an impatient person. Besides, I think you really need to maintain the sharpness of your pencil when you're getting your gradations correct. If you care about stuff like that, if you're going in messy like me, then it doesn't really matter. But I have this really cool little handheld sharpener that is great and super inexpensive. It is a M&R, Mobius and Rupert, German brass sharpener. Comes with replacement blades. You can buy the replacement blades. And you always know that you need replacement blades when your lead starts to break more often. And I don't know if a lot of people realize that, your sharpener has to be really sharp for your lead not to break. So Prisma colors are notorious for lead breakage, and I don't really have that problem too much with these. So just wanted to let y'all know that if you were, struggling with a similar thing. But yeah, I'm also going to go in with a little bit of watercolor here at the end and go over the colored pencil. I'm doing like a little colored pencil sandwich. And that is an effect that I discovered recently while playing around on mixed media paper. And it's pretty cool. It's got like a nice little effect that doing this simple watercolor with pencil over it doesn't really have. So yeah, just wanted to make this little video and share this process of me trying a couple of new things, and hopefully you guys got something out of this. And if you liked the video, give me a thumbs up, subscribe if you're new, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.